We're here at the Pontifical College Josephinum in Columbus, Ohio. Many of our priests have attended the Josephinum, especially for college formation, for college seminary. We now have men here in their first year of formation for priesthood, which is new this year. It's called the propedeutic stage of formation.
While many people are used to seminary being a necessary step before priesthood, what many people don't appreciate or realize is within seminary there's different stages or different steps. People might be familiar with like a deacon and then a seminarian, and yet not really kind of delving into the weeds, they might not appreciate or even know that there are different steps or stages. The Church, following the example of St. John Paul II, Benedict XVI, and now Pope Francis, instituted a new stage on the front end of formation. And that new stage is called a Propaedeutic Year. It's meant to be an introduction to a new way of life.
My name is William Fuller. I'm from Holy Cross. Before I entered seminary, I really had no idea what the Propaedeutic Year was going to be. And really, I thought it was going to be like a super contemplative monastic thing, but really it's not a whole lot different from regular seminary. There's just more focus on having times to pray and times for fraternity, times for learning.
My name is Andrew Pugh, and I come from All Saints Parish, which is in Moulton. The chance that you've got here, the opportunity that the Propaedeutic Year gives you, you can grow in your spiritual life. That's what the year's for. And everything's focused around that. The community, your brother seminarians, the faculty and staff here, your daily schedule. As long as you're willing, you'll make some amazing progress just in 1 year. That can really change your life.
I think it is very necessary to have a year where people learn about, aspects of the faith, ways to pray, certain devotions. A lot of that is lost nowadays. And Propaedeutic Year is kind of getting you back on track.
I would say the most important dimension of the Propaedeutic Year of formation for a seminarian is their time spent in prayer with the Lord. The focus of the year is not academic. The focus of the year is listening to the voice of the Divine Master so as to know the heart and the face, might we say the presence of the Divine Master. That's the most important part of the Propaedeutic Year. Giving them that extra time to, shall we be direct, detox from the noise of the world.
Whenever we get free time or anything, the hobbies that I usually tend to side more for are very active, and I quickly learned that there's almost always something you can do. I've picked up a lot of woodworking and blacksmithing. I do that with a buddy of mine here.
Obviously, you're going into fraternity, which, it's really helpful, building a community of, like-minded brothers who all are discerning the same way of life.
I think the benefit of having Propaedeutic Year is that specifically for guys like me who aren't very adapted to a philosophy or but are still discerning in the priesthood, the Propaedeutic Year gives you that time to really ease into it, define your strengths and your weaknesses and how you can take advantage of what the Josephinum has so that you will be prepared for the years to come.
Even if you're not really sure about your vocation, like you have no idea, it's still very much worth looking into the Propaedeutic Year, looking into, applying to seminary, applying for the diocese. Just because here you'll, have a lot more opportunity to pray than you will anywhere else. And prayer is really where discernment, lives.
It wasn't until the winter of senior year I just realized that I was no longer coming up with reasons why I should go to seminary. I was coming up with reasons why why I shouldn't. And I was like trying to come up with everything. I was like, no, there's no way that could be the place for me. The priesthood can't, like, that's not for me. And I was trying to come up with any reason I could. One day I was just like, why am I coming up with all these excuses? I eventually just realized that there were only reasons for me to go.
If I were to give a slogan to the Propaedeutic Year, Esto vir, which is Latin for be a man. St. Jose Maria of Escriva is the one who kind of coined it.
Be a man. You can get through this. Like, that's what we're here to be. We're here to learn how to be men. And
it's about perseverance. It's about, learning how to be a man, which is what seminary in general is about. But Propaedeutic Year is where that begins, so that you can be a spiritual father.
The one thing I would love to say is I love my life as a priest. I love my life as a bishop. I love the ministry. I think every Catholic young man should spend some considerable time in his life discerning if God is calling him to be a priest. And so any young Catholic man who feels God's pull on your heart, please reach out to us, begin that conversation. And if you have a sense that God might be calling you to be a priest, please consider making that application and considering that first year of seminary formation in this, it's a mouthful, Propaedeutic Year, right? But you can think of it as just that first year where you explore this question in a serious way. You should do like a blooper reel of all of us mispronouncing propaedeutic, so like at the end.